Hey friends, it's Dr. V, and today I'm going to start off a little bit differently on day number 9. I'm going to go right to the Bible. I'm going to give an example, and I'm going to explain to you how it's going to apply to your life to improve your overall health, your well-being, and basically to improve success in your life. So in the book of Exodus, and I'm going to translate this, believe it or not, because the way I have it set up is in the King James Version, and with the these and the thous and the wills. So I'm going to kind of decipher it down. So in the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 26, it says, if you will diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, this is now the Lord speaking, says, I will put none of these diseases upon you, which I brought upon the Egyptians. Okay? Understand that one for a second. For I am the Lord that healeth you. Okay, so in this verse is a couple of things, and if you know me by now, I am not politically correct. You could discontinue if you don't like it, but here's the point. He's not the Lord, that is. He's not putting this word against Egyptians like nowadays Egyptians. Egyptians in this verse were people who were disobedient, that were holding God's people in captivity. So understand the allegory that's going on before you get freaked out and think that it's an anti-Egyptian conspiracy going on. But the point that's going on is this, is that God in his word, in the Bible, he sets forth some covenants. These are deals, these are pacts, these are agreements and handshakes. And God says, if you do this, I will do that. And God can't break his covenant. God can't break his rules. He'll set it forth. If you follow it, you get the benefit. If you break the rule, well, you don't get the benefit, you get the consequence. So what the Lord is speaking about as far as commandments and statutes and such like that, there are these covenants, these laws, and they govern everything, including your health and your overall well-being. That's why in the Bible there's a whole list of foods that are clean, unclean, foods that would be acceptable to eat, how to eat it, how to prepare it. And back then, it just seemed like legalism. So this was the law and follow it. But if you fast forward a couple of thousand years, you'll realize that certain foods that God was telling the children of Israel not to eat, he was saying it for their health reasons. He was saying, don't eat, fish that are scavenger fish, because they were sucking the garbage off the bottom of whatever the lake or the river, wherever they were. Don't eat animals that eat other animals, because that's how a lot of diseases can be transferred. So the Lord had certain and very specific rules when it came to what foods were clean and unclean. And back then, again, it was a law, but now we realize that, remember when I was growing up, it was a big thing about make sure if you're going to eat pork, it was well cooked, because of the trichinosis worm in it. You get the parasite, next thing you know, you're dead, okay? But nonetheless, eating clean and healthy food would be very beneficial for you. Now, but the word says that keeping all the commandments and all the covenants, which go way beyond just food. Why? Because there's certain rules of behavior, and that's a huge problem. You see, people just don't know how to behave. They're so busy taking care of themselves, satisfying their flesh, satisfying their ego, trying to get ahead, trying to be victorious when there's no need. They don't want to help anybody but themselves. And in that action, we start breaking rules that God sets forth. And when you break a rule, you pay the consequence. And the consequence could be stress. The consequence could be other types of danger. Listen, if you mess around in a certain way, you can end up reaping the rewards of that disaster, which causes stress, which causes disease, and you never know. Somebody may come behind you and give you some lead poisoning. You see, we have to understand that when we read something like this in the Bible, not all of it is mysterious that only a few people on the planet could decipher. We need to understand that just simply following rules that make sense, that govern the overall wellness of your body, is a good thing. It's a healthy thing. So let's understand this, and this will be kind of our lesson for today. See, we can take supplements that will promote our health. We can eat foods that will promote our health. And we could do these things, but understand where your true healing comes from. It comes from above, down, and inside out. That's how we get well, stay well, and we could be well. So write an affirmation yourself, saying about things that you need to be or have to start being more obedient to in your life in order to reap the rewards of what we know as a blessing. God bless. This is Dr. V. Tell your friends. See you next time.